Well, hello guys. Welcome back to another episode of Everyday EDC. My name is Tyler, and today we are going to be reviewing something unique, relatively unique for this channel, anyways. This is the Fox Knives Tur. All right, guys. So the Fox Knives Tur. This thing is awesome. So first and foremost, let me just accent or accentuate the most best freaking part of this knife is these contoured carbon fiber scales. These things look beautiful, they feel beautiful, and they are contoured, so the ergonomics in hand feels oh so good. We have this titanium backspacer with a lanyard hole and some relatively aggressively large, but they're not really aggressive. It's kind of mellow jipping. They knock down some of the edges, so you really don't feel it. You got the lanyard hole here that sticks out, and I'm okay with that design. I think that just looks just fine. We have this titanium pocket clip that comes here that is unfortunately not ambidextrous, which, that's okay for me. Maybe not for lefties. This side of the scales is a complete set. This side of the scales is one slab of carbon fiber with a stainless steel plate up here for the phosphor bronze to ride on. And on this side, we have a recessed liner that we can show you. See here. There you go. Just a recessed liner, nothing special. So this is a liner lock with some jimping on the liner. And it's actually a pretty stiff liner lock. I mean, that's a pretty stiff, strong lock that does feel pretty good. Now, the next thing I want to mention is this is on Phosphor Bronze. But do you guys see how hard that snaps? That detent is tuned so perfectly that this is a dream to fidget with despite not having drop shut action. See, I have to really work it down, but the snap, oh, it snaps so hard. It's just fantastic. Freaking love fidgeting with this guy. So we have a stop pin right here, which leads us right into some jimping on the spine. The spine is not really knocked down. It's a little sharp going all the way up to this drop point, full flat grind style blade with these oversized thumb studs that work out really, really, really well. This is a satin finish blade. This is a Fox Knives blade designed by Jesper Voxnes. And I've only felt one of his knives, but Jake over there at Ohio State just did a review. Go check it out. And he did, I don't remember what knife it was, but he loved it too. And it was another Jesper design, if I'm not mistaken. Speaking of which, these are made in Italy. And the cool part about this blade is this is Elmax. This is an Elmax steel. And yeah, guys. So this thing's quality parts are just so fantastic. You get a little bit of everything. You get your titanium backspacer with a lanyard hole, a titanium pocket clip. Yes, it's pretty standard looking, but it looks good. It has that classy feel to it to where there's nothing that's like wow about this knife until you get it in hand. And then it's like, wow, okay. So then we have this finger choil, sharpening choil thing there. I'll get to that later. That's kind of like, what? But that's just about it. Let's check the sizes on these screws real quick for you. The body screws might be T6. The pivot's a T8. Yeah, so T6, T8. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention is this pocket clip is mounted from the inside. Very, very cool. So it sits nice and flush with the scales, and it looks really sweet and it looks classy. I mean, the whole design of this knife just kind of feels really, really, really classy. And last but not least, the Fox Knives logo. Pretty cool looking. Little fox. And then box on the other side. For Jesper Voxnes. All right. Let's get you guys some specs on the Fox Knives Tur. I believe there is a cheaper model, by the way, that's in G10 and like S35 or something. I think that's coming in at like 100 or something like that. I don't know. Maybe N690. N690, I think. So this is coming in at 3.25 ounces. Not too entirely heavy, but you're not really going for the ultra lightweight knife here. I mean, it's not supposed to be ultra lightweight. It's supposed to be that classy, just kind of beefy carry for how big it actually is. see. The overall length of this guy's coming in right at 7 inches, and the overall blade length is coming in actually just shy of 3 inches, which is surprising because it feels much larger because it's like a full flat grind, pretty tall, wide blade. And then the overall cutting edge is coming in at 2 3/4. Don't let that deter you, for those of you that are like me, where you're like, oh, I'm not touching that knife. It's too small. Guys, I'm telling you, this is one of those that you probably want to go outside of your realm of normal. And I'm filling in because I don't know what the hell happened to my calipers. What the flying monkey crap? Got it. I apparently am messy and just threw it on the other side of the room when I was done with it. All right, so the blade stock of this knife is coming in at about 140 thousandths, but with this full flat grind, he was able to reach 20 thousandths behind the edge, which is really cool. 140 thousandths blade stock to come down to 20 thousandths behind the edge on a relatively small knife. I mean, like I said, I don't think it's small, but the blade is short, right? So the overall height is 0.54 inches. That's due to the contouring of the scales, and it feels so good. If this thing was not contoured, in my opinion, I mean, I would think this thing's almost crap. It's just like so generic. But the contoured scales and the carbon fiber just make it feel so good. So the overall height in your pocket's not too short. It's coming in at 1.2 inches. To put that into perspective, your PM2 is coming in at 1.6, your Manix 2 is coming in at 1.74, and your PM3 is coming in at 1.66 tall in your pocket. Speaking of our Spyderco brethren, we have, not the Fox Knives brethren, but we have the Spyderco Little Native and the Spyderco Tenacious. As you guys know, these are my two only current Spydercos, so sorry that that it kind of gets boring seeing the Tenacious. Not the Little Native. The Little Native's cool, but I love this Tenacious. So, but yeah, I'll eventually get some more Spydercos back in, and we'll get those. I do have a Domino right now, but it's more of it's a review knife. I'm not using it as like a comparison knife. So here, as you can see, we have the Feldspar and the Mini Feldspar. This knife is coming in just shy of the Mini Feldspar. The Mini Feldspar's got it by maybe 1/8 of an inch. That tells you guys very, very clearly how large this knife is not. But this is one of those little meaty, robust sons of guns. Here is your Rat Model 2 and your Rat Model 1. First and foremost, kudos to Rat Model 1 in Ontario once again. I didn't even think about it and reverse flick this guy. And yeah, these things' actions are so freaking good for so cheap. Anyways. So the Rat Model 2 is coming in just a little bit longer, just like your Mini Feldspar. And then last but not least, we have your Civivi Brazen and your Civivi Elementum. This thing kind of reminds me of an Elementum in that the Elementum's kind of like your classy carry knife, and the Elementum's going to carry a little bit better, but the Fox Knives is going to be so much more ergonomically friendly. It's going to be nice. All right, now time to get into the overview, and then I'll tell you my likes and my dislikes, and whether or not this knife is actually worth it. All right, so to recap, we have contoured carbon fiber scales here that are very, very nice. We have a T8 pivot and 2 T6 body screws on either side. We have a pocket clip that is mounted from the inside. Very cool. Kudos. It gets rid of all the hardware and just looks extra classy. We have a backspacer here with some jimping going on down here, and then a lanyard hole right there. Both bronze titanium matching with the pocket clip and the backspacer. The show side of the carbon fiber has no milling. It has no liner, no nothing. Just a little plate up here for the Phosphor Bronze to run on. And then on the liner lock side, there's just a liner that's recessed that acts as the stop bar, or as the lock bar. Here is your stop bar back here. And this is riding on, as I said, Phosphor Bronze. And the action, really, really nice. A really thick blade stock that with this full flat grind does come down to a pretty damn slicey blade with this drop point style satin finish Elmax blade. This is designed by Jesper Voxnäs and made by Fox Knives. Runs on thumb studs. I think that's a good enough recap. So what are my likes? First and foremost, you guys already know the contoured scales. That's the winner here. These scales and the way that they look truly make this knife excellent. Absolutely freaking excellent. And the ergonomics of it are excellent. I always tell people this. Why am I paying $225? By the way, that's the price for this. For a knife that, you know, it's Elmax, but I get it, but you know, it's on Phosphor Bronze, it's blah blah blah. Well, if you were to buy some contoured carbon fiber, say for your PM2, I'm not even going to tell you guys. I want the people that are aware of that and have done it, comment below. How much have you paid for carbon fiber, let alone contoured carbon fiber, for any knife as an aftermarket scale? So 225, once you put that into perspective, along with the titanium backspacer and titanium pocket clip, really doesn't sound that bad. I mean, I know I'm kind of going overboard. Oh, it's just the scale. That's why it's 225. Maybe, maybe not. You get Elmax steel with it. But the point being is to get some really nice carbon fiber is not cheap. The other thing I like is the liners are recessed on this side. It makes it look extra classy. Kind of just hides some of the undercarriage of the knife. And that's just a cool thing. Not to mention it is milled out, which I showed it to you once, but I want to emphasize here. See if I can get a good angle on it. Right there. It does have milling on the liner lock side, which is unique. Most liner locks do not have milling on the liner lock side. Third thing I like about it, the looks. The looks look great. It is a very classy, gentlemanly, but still robust feeling knife in hand, guys. Those of you that like the larger knives are still going to want to like this because you get it in hand and you're like, holy crap. Which leading into the next thing that I like is, wham, this thing fires so hard for being on Phosphor Bronze. And no, it's not drop shut. It may one day get drop shut, but that's not the point. It's effortless. This thing is tuned so, so, so well. Ergonomically, talking about the contoured scales, the ergonomics are fantastic. This thing is just a functional beast. You get it in hand, and realistically, this is probably all the blade shape you need for a lot of your tasks. It comes down relatively slicey, but not too slicey to where you got to worry about breaking your knife. The tip is not the most robust, but it's not the most, I mean, let's see here. This is it up against the 0562 ZT. To put that into perspective, the ZT is a beast of a knife. It's a Hulk, and the tips aren't that much different. So what don't I like about this? I've been waiting all review to talk about this little sumbitch. Get over here and scoop my chair in. Okay, so what may I not like about this knife? You guys ask yourselves, what is it? What don't you like about that? Seriously, you don't like something about this knife? You've already geeked out on it for the past 10, 15 minutes. Well, there was a really weird design choice that maybe somebody can clue me in. What the hell? You made this like finger choil in the blade that all you would have to do is shave down those little lips of carbon fiber. But instead, you have this sharpening choil that's weird. I mean, this knife kind of begs to be choked up on right here. I think this would be, it feels good even like this. Cut this off, round this off just enough. I mean, this is, I'm not going to call it poor design choice because maybe I'm missing something here. From my perspective, I'm going to call this a poor design choice. I don't know why you left this go there. Now, maybe that's why. Right there to hide the rest of the tang of the blade as it comes out, because that blade comes out. That's why they did it. So this blade is so tall for such a small knife that if you were to cut those off, the tang of the blade would be sticking out right there. That's why that choice was done. So when it's actually open and the function's there, it's kind of looks stupid. So I just figured it out while I was doing the review. I'm still not happy with it. I don't know what I think. I'm a little frustrated still, but I get it now. Never mind. I really don't have too many dislikes other than that. The price is coming in at $225. Like I said, I believe there's a budget model, not so much budget, but I think it's coming in at $100 to $130 for the G10 and Bowler N690. It is from Italy, so that would make sense. But yeah, is this thing worth it? I definitely believe so. I've paid more for less, and it's just, they just did a lot of things oh so well. Like there's a couple marks right here on the carbon fiber now that I'm looking, and I can't tell if those are because somebody dropped it maybe, or if it's just like I don't know if you guys can see it. Might have been because somebody dropped it right there. Not 100% sure. But yeah. So the Fox Knives Tur, guys. Underrated, undersold. Most people probably don't know too much about it. Jesper Boxnace, people know that name, and forgive me if I'm saying it wrong. But awesome, awesome designer, and you have a fan after this knife. I love it. And like I said, this thing isn't even on bearings, and I barely have to... This thing isn't even on bearings, and I barely have to take two. Bam. Super, super snappy. All right, guys, my name is Tyler. This has been Everyday EDC. You guys stay sharp, stay safe. Thank you guys sincerely so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any further questions, let me know. And those of you that have the contoured scales that purchase aftermarket contoured scales that are carbon fiber, or even just carbon fiber aftermarket scales, let me know how much you spent on them below. Because I want to put this into perspective for people that really don't know what stuff like that costs. Have a great day, guys. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. It genuinely means a lot. If you liked what you saw, please subscribe, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment. If you didn't like it, give me some feedback in the comments below and hit the thumbs down button. In case you guys don't know, I do have a Patreon, which will be listed right here. In that Patreon, we're giving bi-monthly giveaways to just the Patreons based on the number of Patreons that we have in the Patreon. We will also be giving discounts on all the knives that I sell based on the number of patrons. My name is Tyler. This is Everyday EDC. You guys stay sharp, stay safe, and have a great day.